Hey, omnes. Well, not really omnes. Actually, I'm just talking to Latin 1 here. Usually by this point in the semester, there are a number of things that we would have done that we haven't gotten to yet. And one of the big ones is talking about verbs. Talked to you about noun endings the other day, but I didn't get to verbs because we were out of time. Now, that said, we've been reading, so you've seen verbs. In fact, like this is a great example of a verb we saw several times, either in one of the chapters you read or in the homework. And if you've only read chapter 1 so far, and some of you have only read through chapter 1, then you probably feel like all verbs look more or less like this one, because there were several examples of verbs. In fact, like here's some more examples of verbs. Sorry, my camera angle's not perfect. But yeah, you might see that and you might think, oh, okay, I can recognize verbs. Verbs end in T. But here's the thing, some of you guys have moved on to chapter 2, and in chapter 2, you see this. Yeah, that's a verb that doesn't end in T. I mean, there is a T at the end, but there's also an N in there that wasn't there before. Looks real similar to set it, but it's different. Well, it looks real similar to set it because it's the same verb. It still means sit, just like set it means sit. So why the extra letter? All right. Well, what you find out if you dig into the exercises, and some of you guys have found this out. Some of you guys haven't found it out yet. Is that there is a difference in meaning, and it's this: set it doesn't just mean sits. It specifically means he or she sits. It kind of goes along with the subject, whereas sedent means they sit. All right. So that is to say, when your subject changes, your verb has to change too. So in the first one is when you have a singular verb, just one person, or it could even be a thing, doing the action. Whereas when you have more than one, your verb has to change as well. And here's the other thing: it's not just the difference between singular and plural. This actually plays into a whole system, which includes persons as well. So when you look at what I've got over here, you'll notice that it's the same verb. It's still the verb sit, but I've got a bunch of examples here. I've got 6 of them. This is the basic system. Sedeo, sedes, sedet, sedemo, sedeti, sedent. And these come with different subjects. Sedeo is first person. That's because the subject is I. And sedeo, all by itself, even without any other words in there, means I sit. All right? In the same way that sedemus, all by itself, means we sit. Sedes is literally a complete sentence. It means you sit or you are sitting. Same with sedetis, but it's plural, if you're talking to more than one person. And of course, the ones that we already know about from chapters 1 and 2. So I just want to throw that out there because that's the basic system that we're going to be working with. And here's the good news. This is the system for all the verbs. There are exceptions to this, and there's more that we need to know about it, but just kind of as a nice, big, broad overview, this is a real good starting off point. Now, in chapters 1 and 2, and even in chapter 3, you're not really going to see any verbs that aren't, like these ones over here, that just end in T or NT. But even as early as chapters 4 and 5, which are coming up real soon, you actually are going to start seeing verbs that don't end in T or NT at all. You're actually going to see ones where you have characters talking to each other, and they're saying things about, how I do this thing, or why are you doing this thing, all right? So anyway, I just want to make this video real quick, real simple so that you know this stuff is coming, and you know why. All right, bye. I'll see you tomorrow.